UTALK family, what go on, what go on? This your boy D with another live show with UTALK. And y'all know how we start off every show. It ain't no me. What are you, baby? Kane Nation, what's going on? What's going on? Happy Friday to everybody, man. Hope everybody had a great, safe week. Man, we 1 week away. Alabama versus Miami. Are you ready? We 1 week away. What's going on, Kane Nation? I'm going to bring my boy in pretty shortly. Mr. Larry Frank Jr. is in the building. But y'all know how we do it, man. I want to start off and get some shout-outs, man. Get some shout-outs, man. Shout out to Melvin Brad, man. Shout out to my guy, Melvin Bratton, man. MB5 Sports, Zenith Sports Group, Zenith Developers Group, man. Y'all support my boy, man, Melvin Bratton. What's going on, Mr. Bratton? What it do? Shout out to Marquez Williams, man. Shout out to Marquez. And like I say, man, you guys go to popsocks.com and check out the socks, man. Mr. Williams is selling over at popsocks.com. He got all of this merchandise for you guys. You can get ready, man, for the upcoming game. Shout out to Marquez Williams. And also shout out, man, to Coach Hayes, man. I want to give a big shout out, man, to Brother Jay Blaze for introducing UTALK to Coach Hayes, man. But he was somebody that me and Larry Frank was watching, man, before we started doing this, man. And I want to give a shout out to Coach Hayes. Next week, we're not going to do a hype show. Actually, Coach Hayes is having like a marathon to where he's bringing on all of the different Miami Hurricane YouTube platforms to where we're going to be talking about different position groups. And UTALK, our time is at 6:30. Our time slot is at 6:30. And me and Larry Frank is going to be talking about the old line. So that'll be next week, next Friday. Like I say, it won't be next Thursday on September the 2nd. It won't be a hype show on Friday. We're going to do Coach Hayes' show over on his station. So you guys come over and check us out next Thursday at 6:30. That'll be UTALK slot. And I think Coach Hayes said he's going from, man, I want to say from 4 to 12. He's going to be on there with all of the different personalities, man, from Miami Hurricane YouTube, man. So looking forward to that, man. So let me bring my boy in without any further ado. Mr. Larry Frank Jr. is in the building, man. Larry Frank, what it do? What's going on, big dog? How you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. Doing good. You know my usual phrase, blessed and avoiding stress, but I'm blessed. But Hurricane Ida, she hurting me on that other half. I'm a little stressed out right now. Ida coming straight at me, like literally. The path of the storm is coming straight to where I'm at. So, hey man, I'm getting ready, getting myself together to get on up out of Dodge, and before this storm hits. And like I say, man, hopefully we get through this and we can get over this and get to next week, man, because, hey, man, Alabama's here, man. Alabama's here. So, man, it's just kind of hurt me a little bit that, us here in Louisiana, we got to deal with this impending storm. But other than that, man, I'm good, man. I ain't complaining.
That's what's up. How was your week, man? How was your week, brother?
Great week. I want to, first of all, shout out as well Coach Hayes. Coach, whenever you see this, I just want to let you know that I was listening. I was on my way home last night from work while we had our draft going on, and I heard what you said. And just to let you know, Coach Hayes, I'm coming for you. So you said he wanted to hear me talk some smack. So hey, I'm doing it. So I know somewhere, some way, he gonna get it. Somebody gonna tell him. So hey, I'm coming for you, Coach.
That's what's up. That's what's up, man. Let's get into it tonight, man. Larry Frank, man, we are a week away from Miami versus Alabama. It's finally here. 1 week away. And we got some stuff that we want to talk about. And like I say, callers, it's your night. It's your night every night on UTALK when I'm on. Feel free to call up, man. The telephone number is 404-462-0477. I'm going to put the number up. The telephone number is 404-462-0477. And we want everybody's opinion, man, on how you feel about going into the first game. Miami versus Alabama, 1 week away, man. But the first topic of the night, Larry Frank, man, is the big one, man, everybody's talking about. and that is Avante Williams being reinstated to the Miami Hurricane football program. What are your thoughts on that, big dog? Talk to me.
I got mixed feelings on this because it's a situation that we see far too many times. People get into situations, and a lot of times it's situations that really, I think, can be avoided. Obviously, we don't know the particulars. We just know what we heard and what we read. But what was disheartening to me at the time was how quick he was dismissed from the team before an actual investigation took place. From the legal side of it, we all are told that you are innocent until proven guilty. And from what I read and and checked up on, the details was just too sketchy and dicey. There was no consistency with the story. So the charges were subsequently dropped and he was cleared. But I just felt like he has a black eye on him because of the nature of the allegations, domestic abuse. And listen, a lot of people were assuming that it was Manny that made that call. It was not Manny that made the call. The administration, the school made the call. And shout out to Brian Patter, the late great Brian Patter's brother, Edward, because he was the one that had a hand in getting him reinstated. Now, before we get to the football part of his return, I want to talk about the reputation side of his return. He has an opportunity now to redeem himself in a big way, in a major way, because the comments that I saw when all of this went down at first, they were so hateful. All I saw was stuff to the effect of, keep your hands to yourself and don't put your hands on people and this and that and we don't need them and I'm like, it disturbed me because it's like, okay, as long as these guys are playing football, you cheer for them. But if they get in some sort of a life situation, you bashing them. So how do you really care about them, or do you just care about what they can do for the university that you're a fan of? And that disturbed me because before these guys are football players, these guys are men. Before these guys are athletes, and before these guys achieve their NFL aspirations, these guys are men. They're fathers or they're future fathers. So to put them down the way and have some of the negative comments that I saw initially without an investigation, without confirmation of the allegations, it just really disturbed me. So from the I guess the ethical side, that's how I felt. Listen, I'm glad he was cleared. I'm glad he has a second chance. I'm glad that he can put that behind him. He already has a son. He has, I believe, the young lady is pregnant. He has another one on the way. So now he has an opportunity to go forward on the football field, hone his skills, hone his talent, parlay that into a possible NFL career. And at the very least, if he doesn't get to the NFL, which I don't think, that's not going to happen. I think he's going to get to the league. He's that talented, especially with what we have coaching in the secondary. If something by chance happens to where, heaven forbid, you get hurt and you don't get to the league, get that degree at least.
Right.
And have your future set one way or the other, so you can take care of your kids and you can be that example of a father and a man that they need to see, and that we're lacking in this community right now, in these communities around the country right now. Right. So from the ethical side, I'm just rooting for him to make it. Now, from the football side of it, I'm seeing a lot of mixed comments. People like, oh, well, he can start. No, he's not going to start against Bama because I think the incident went down 2 weeks ago, so he missed a lot of time in camp when he was away from the team. What I see happening is, regardless of the starting rotation, they're going to rotate these guys in. So even though he may not start, he is going to see the field. He's that good to not see the field. So you will see the field, no doubt about it, in a week. How much he gets on there, we don't know. You know, that's all on them, and that'll play itself out. But moving forward, I think he will establish himself as another one in the line of the great Miami safeties, you know, to join, you know, everybody else that then came before. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so chime in. You know, like I said, I mean, we you know, this is a hot button topic. So, you know, Devin put the number up a little while ago. Chime in, man. I'd like to hear what everybody else, how they feeling right now, the emotions. How are you guys out there in the chat feeling about the return of Avonte? Because I know it's a mixed bag, man. I just want to see what y'all got to say as well.
Most definitely, man. Like I say, man, you guys call up.
It's UTALK, baby.
You guys called up. I'm gonna put the number up. The number is 404-462-0477. We're talking about, man, Miami versus Alabama, 1 week away. And we're also talking about Avonte Williams being reinstated to the football team. What are you guys' feelings, man? What do you think about it? Do you like it? Call up, jump in the chat. Let's talk about it. But let's move on, man, too. Let's go ahead and talk about, man, JD, man. He in the building, man. JD, what's going on, man? What up, JD? How you doing tonight, brother, man? That's my guy, Jamal Davis in the building. What's up? So let's talk about it, Larry Frank, this depth chart, man. Let's project it, man. Let's talk about it, man. Let's see what we think, man. Let's see if it's going to come. Let's see if it's going to come to fruition, man. What do you think, man? Let's start with quarterback, man. Let's start with the offensive side of the ball. We already know who the leader is of the team is. So I'm going to let you start it off, man. Go ahead, big dog.
Yeah. I don't even have to name who the starter is. We already know about that. The only thing I'm going to highlight at the quarterback position is who I think the backup will be. And based off of what's been going on in fall camp, I think it's TBD. A lot of people were hyped up on Jay Garcia, and he rightfully so. I mean, he had a real good showing in the spring game, but the facts are, in fall camp, from what I've seen and what I've read, TBD has been more consistent. He's been a little bit more natural running the offense, and Jake has had his ups and downs, you know. And, I mean, that's no knock on him. He's still a freshman. I mean, he's a freshman. He's still learning everything. He's a naturally talented guy. But, you know, in camp and everything running the offense, he's kind of been a couple of steps back of TBD. So that backup quarterback battle will be going on for the entire season. That's going to really lead. That's going to be something I'm going to, believe it or not, I'm going to watch for the rest of this season, because I want to see how we go into 2022. Because after King is gone this year, one way or the other, we got to move on at that position. So, yeah, I think TBD is going to lock up that second spot. But we all know who the starter is going to be. It's going to be number one. It's going to be the King himself.
Shout out to, hold on real quick, not to cut you off. Super chat, man. Sigmund, what it do, man? What's going on, man? Thank you for the donation. Thank you for the donation, Sigmund. Always, man. You always show love. Thank you, brother. He needs that brotherhood around him, Sigmund said.
Yes, absolutely. Go
ahead and continue, L. Frank.
All right. Running back. That's another no-brainer. Cam's definitely the starter.
What's the word on Jalen Knighton? Is he suspended for the Alabama game? What are we hearing about that?
They haven't made a decision that I've seen yet, but consensus is that it's forthcoming. Now, for what? I don't know. I haven't really had time to really dig and see what's going on, but all I'm hearing is that there is a suspension looming, and you pretty much can look at it in that regard. It'll be him. So for the Alabama game, it'll be Cam, and then Chaney will be his backup. Now, after the suspension is done, it'll still be Cam, but I think Chaney and Knighton are pretty much kind of that Batman and Robin type duo. You know, like you could put in one, they're going to do a little something, bring them out, you can put the other one in, you can interchange them and all of that. So when it's all said and done, Cam will be the leader. Chaney and Knighton will definitely be 2A and 2B, I should say. And then don't sleep on Cody Brown, man. He didn't transfer from Tennessee for nothing.
Right.
You know,
right, definitely.
Cody Brown's going to definitely see the field a lot. Thad Franklin, who's the other one, he's another incoming running back. He's been having kind of developing a little slow. You know, he's got the size to really be a bruiser and do some things, but Thad Franklin, from what I'm reading, really hasn't come into his own just yet. So he might be one that takes a little while to develop. But either which way, the running back room, we are good. We are definitely good. Fresh rotation of legs every week. You know, hey, we're going to really wear down some opposing defenses with our running game. And even from not just with the running backs, even with King as well, you know. So running game is going to be real nice this year.
That's what's up. Well, let's go over to it now. Wide receiver. We're going to do the O-line last, but let's go to wide receiver.
Okay. All right. Outside, obviously, number one is going to be Mr. Rambo. Rambo will be one outside receiver. Your other outside receiver, in my opinion, will be Keyshawn Smith. He's going to lock down that other outside spot. He's been coming on. Like I said, he made his name known a little bit last year, really made his name known in the bowl game. You know, whereas, you know, the usual guys, you know, they were dropping passes. When he got in there, he provided a spark. And if he gets that toe down, then he catches a touchdown. So he went into the spring with an attitude, and he's just been balling. You know, he's been really solid. So he'll be the other one on the outside. Slot guy is going to be Mike Harley, obviously. Now, Mike and X, they're going to be interchangeable in the slot. So it's going to be nice with them, you know, in the slot. As far as who I have backing them up, obviously, Pope is going to back up one, and Wiggins will back up the other on the outside. They're going to get rotated in. So, I mean, don't think they won't see the field. They're going to get rotated in. They're going to have their opportunities.
Right.
But hopefully when they do get rotated in, you know, they can not do what they've been known to do.
Right.
So if you can be consistent in catching the ball, especially when you get on the field, then it's going to make the offense even better and even more smoother, because now you got capable hands every time. Your opportunity to catch the ball every time King slings it. You know, and that's just to the receivers, you know, not to the tight end position. So that's what I have there. And also Jacoby George, watch out for him. He's going to be making some noise. I think he's going to see a lot as well, because he's been really showing out at camp as well. He's been coming on, man. I think he's going to be one of the ones in the future, one of the big names in the future. But he'll make a name for himself a little bit to an extent this year as well. So watch out for him as well.
What's your thoughts on Michael Redden? What are you hearing about him?
Redding is he's doing his thing as well. He's not as consistent as some of the other ones, but he's got good days, he's got bad days. But he'll get in the rotation as well. So, you know, it just may not be as much. Look to see him possibly in you know, games where you have a bigger lead, and they want to get him some more playing time, in my opinion. But Redden, definitely, he's got all the upside in the world. So definitely you'll see him from time to time.
Hey, man, shout out to Hurricane U, CJ87. What it do, man? We see you, big dog. How you doing, brother, man? You ready for Miami versus Alabama? Y'all come on, man, and tell us what you think, man. We going through this depth chart, and we just trying to project, man, who we think going to be the starters and who backing everybody up, man. So feel free to call up. Telephone number 404-462-0477. We're 1 week away, Larry Frank, from Miami versus Alabama, man. Come on, guys. Y'all call up and talk to us, man. It's almost here. It's almost here, Larry Frank. What's going on? Dang Nation. We've been talking about this. It's on. We ain't scared. We ain't scared. But like I say, Larry Frank, let's go over to tight end, man. Let's go down to tight end next, man. What are you thinking about the tight end position? We know Mallory at 1, but what is looking like behind it?
Arroyo is Mallory and Arroyo. That's your 1-2 punch right there.
So Larry Hodges.
Mallory and Arroyo.
Larry Hodges done kind of fell out of the loop, man. Larry,
it's not so much that he fell out of the loop. It's more that Arroyo came on strong, because Arroyo just came out of nowhere and has just been solid, you know, and you know, kind of like what you saw with Brevin and Mallory. It was always a 1-2 combination, a 1-2 punch at tight end. And thankfully, that tradition, at least at that position, is going to continue. I think Hodges and Brantley still can be contributors,
Right.
but I think right now, obviously Mallory is the man right now, and I think Arroyo is just seizing his opportunity. Now I do think there'll be some rotations going on that you'll see those other guys get in, and I'm sure they'll do something, but I think not to the degree that Arroyo will, once they get on the field. So yeah, tight end is a lock.
Okay. So let's go on down to the offensive line now, man. Let's do it, man. Offensive line. Let's start at left tackle.
Here we go, and I don't want to give away too much because, as you alluded to, next week with Coach Hayes, we're going to be going in real deep on this unit. So I'm gonna just kind of brush on it and give the basics. We're gonna save. I'm gonna give an appetizer on it, but we're gonna save the main course for next Thursday when we get our slot.
And tell them again what we're doing on next Thursday at 6:30. Tell them again.
Yeah. Next Thursday, catch Coach Hayes. He's doing I think what he call? Hold on, let me see if I could do it how he was doing. He said the YouTube. I think that's how he was doing it last night. It was something in that regard. So, Coach, if I'm doing it wrong, forgive me. But yeah, basically he's going to be highlighting all the positions, talking to all of the YouTube personalities and stuff like that, getting everybody's opinions. And we're going to be on at 6:30, right, Devin?
Yes. So that's our slot at 6:30. We're going to be talking about the O-line. And I think he said he's going from 4 to 12. It's going to be a marathon. Yeah. He's going to be on all night. So we're not doing a hype show next week, y'all. We're going to be over on Coach Hayes' platform on Thursday, September the 2nd at 6:30. Shout out to Hurricane U CJ87. I'm just paying a lot of attention toward the trenches between Miami and the O-line. Yes, it's going to start up front on both sides of the ball. That's what we've been saying. And that's why we picked our topic on Coach Hayes' next week's show to talk about the O-line. Because that's, to us, is the most important part of the game that's going to have to go. That's going to have to be the key. I mean, if we can't run the ball in the offensive line, it's not even somewhat better than what they was last year. And they had their flashes. They flashed at moments, but they were inconsistent. If they can't be consistent this year, it's going to be a long game, you guys. Long game. So Hurricane U, CJ87, we totally agree with you. Go ahead, Larry Frank, with your O-line projections.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the O-line starting at left tackle, Zion obviously has had some sort of issue or whatever that's prevented him from taking part in practice being a full go the last couple of days, the last week actually, week plus. So Jared Williams has been getting a lot of the reps at left tackle.
Okay.
He's played the left tackle position in the last 2 scrimmages. That tells me he will be starting at left tackle next Saturday.
Okay.
So remember, he played at the right tackle position last year. And he played with a broken arm. So a lot of people kind of went hard on him, like, what's going on with him, being the transfer from Houston. And you would think, coming over with King that, there would definitely be some chemistry there that they'd bring over from Houston. But he was basically playing with one arm last year, so he's a good tackle. He can play the position very well. So it's just he's got a very important slot being on that left side. So I see him starting at left tackle, moving inside to the guard position. Obviously, it'll be Jalen Rivers.
We got a phone call. We got to cut you off. Hold on. It's UTALK. Caller. State your name and where you calling from.
UTALK. This is Jamal Davis, Avon Park, Florida.
Jamal Davis, what's going on, man? What's going on, man?
What's up, Jamal?
Feel good to be calling back in, man.
Good to hear from you.
I say y'all got less than a week before you compete.
Yeah.
I tell you this, man. I mean, I hope y'all have high standards, man. I mean, hope y'all going in there saying, hey, we can win.
Oh, we definitely doing that. Definitely.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's going to be a measuring stick. It's a big milestone for Miami football right now. I mean, I hope they have that on their mind.
What do you think the keys to victory are, man? What do you think we need to do in order to come up with the W?
Victory is, I mean, the offensive line got to protect I mean, everybody got to be 100%, and I mean, like, locked in.
Yes.
Because, I mean, Alabama going to bring it. And, I mean, the line got to be able to control those front four defensive players and pick up the blitz.
Yes.
Y'all can do that, y'all have a very good chance of winning the game, I believe, because, I mean, that's how Alabama controls games. I mean, they're beatable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're that good in the secondary. So, I mean, receivers got to be on point. They got to catch the balls, can't have all the drops like y'all been having. Basically, that's it. The defense got to play, man.
Most definitely.
Alabama bringing it offensive wise.
Right.
Everybody got to do their assignment. And I think, man, they go in there with a attitude like that. I think they'll compete very well.
Most definitely.
I mean, Alabama's not going to be a pushover.
At all. At all. One thing I'd like to piggyback off of what you're saying is with the secondary. I'm glad you brought that up with Alabama's secondary. I'm glad you brought that up. They got a pretty young secondary. And I think if you start talking about head-to-head matchups and advantages per se, I think that gives our receivers a real strong advantage because you got a couple of young guys in that Alabama secondary, and they're good. Don't get me wrong. They are good. I mean, we're not going to sit up here and act like they're not good, but they're still freshmen, and they're still young, and they don't really have that experience. And I think with the talent that we have with our receivers, if the O-line can do their job, and I'm going to say do your job. That's my mantra this whole season. Do your job. If the O-line can do their job and give King time to go through his reads and you get some one-on-ones with that youthful secondary, I like our receivers in those head-to-head matchups.
Oh, definitely.
What
you think about that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like the receivers in the head. I mean, you got speed on the outside, got speed in the slot, and that's hard to keep up with. It's just, can the quarterback hit the target? And that comes with time, because I looked at him last year. He was a decent passer. And can the receivers get open?
Most definitely.
And I think they can. I think they can get open. And, I mean, I think the running game is good enough to keep the double teams down, because I feel like they're going to need their whole front seven to stop your running game.
Well, that goes, not to cut you off, that goes back to the offensive line, though. Yeah. The offensive line got to be able to sustain and block. They're going to have to be effective in the running game in order to get the one-on-one on the outside for them to commit more people to stop the run.
But I really hope that, like, y'all went over, like, different offenses, because if they're controlling the run, I hope you can go to a spread and spread them out. I don't understand coaches nowadays. You know, I mean, like, I think they should practice multiple offenses. I mean, they all just be on this one zone read or whatever they call it.
Right.
I think, because, I don't know, I mean, you might have to spread Alabama out.
I agree. I mean, listen.
And get the linebackers running with some of those speed guys.
I'm going to tell you something. You definitely don't want to have them stacking the box. And you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's football, but that's not a matchup that I like, because they're built to stop the run. You know, the SEC traditionally is a conference. Now, I mean, it's changed over the last couple of years with the offenses becoming more high-powered and more potent. You know, a lot of air raids and passing attack type offenses. But traditionally, the SEC has always been a conference of, you know, you got to have a stout defense and a good running game. And these teams were always predicated on having a great running game because they were so used to going up against stout defenses. So just because Steve Sarkisian did it last year, and he was following up Lane, who did it before, that kind of developed that high-powered passing attack. And just because he's gone, and in my opinion, with Bill Bryan coming in as the new OC, I don't see Bill Bryan having that same type of attack. I think Bill Bryan goes back to Bill O'Brien, goes back to a more traditional type of offensive attack, that being more run-based, more like a power I. You know, man, you just got to see the style of football that they're used to. So
my thing with that, I've never seen a team powerhouse Alabama. Just run over
right.
Alabama. I never seen that since they
Right.
been. And
Right.
I mean, what you guys think about? I mean, if you come out and compete, or if you come out and it just be like ugly, man, what you think about the coaching situation?
Hold up, say that again. Like, you're kind of light. I heard some of it.
I say, what y'all think about the coaching situation? On like, all right, if Miami come out, they compete. All right, that's all well. But if they come out and just get manhandled and ran all over, I mean, how y'all feel about Manny Diaz
That's going to be a
in
problem
that situation?
because, you're an experienced team. That shouldn't happen. And I don't think
Right.
that, they got the spread, I think, at 18. I don't think that you should lose the game by 18. That's just me. And I think that you got to come out and you got to have a good showing. There's no excuses this year. What's your thoughts, Frank?
I think that'll get his seat warm because he's done enough to keep his seat from getting warmer because he's recognized the error of his ways early in his coaching career. With Enos, he made the change and got Lashley. Blake Baker was demoted, but eventually he left, and then he went ahead and was able to get that defensive staff better. But you got no excuse. We say it every week. COVID is here, and last year it was new to everybody, but now you get tested, you get vaccinated and everything, and you're able to go out and practice, and you're able to establish some continuity. And with that being said, you've had the off season to get these guys right, and now you're going into game week, preparation week. So at this point, yeah, you don't have to win the game. Do we want to win the game? Absolutely. But you don't have to win the game. If you compete, and even if you come out on the short end of the stick and you 10 points, 7 points, and you competed and went the distance, Alabama has more depth, okay? We don't have the depth like Alabama has.
No, we don't.
So they will wear us down at some point. We will get fatigued. And at that point, when it's time to rotate, you're going to have a lot of inexperienced guys in there. Mm-hmm. So with that being said, I can't fault Manny if we take the L in that regard. But if you have what is the most experienced offensive line in college football and the third most experienced football team in the land, and you've got all of these upgrades in coaching, and you've had all of this time, and you still get blown out by 30, 40 points, then the criticism of you as a coach will be absolutely fair.
That's right.
And it'll be warranted at that point. So I think right now, to answer your question, he has to compete. If he shows he can compete, and the preparation is there, I'm feeling good about him for the season. But if he goes through all of this and we get all these guys in the transfer portal, these SEC transfers, and Rambo coming from Oklahoma, and what is that going to say to the recruits? Because now you got another battle you're looking at, because now guys that are kind of on the fence about Miami, that's leaning Miami, they want to see what you do, okay? So if they see where, wait a minute, like all of this time you've been doing all of this, and you guys, I mean, this is a new Alabama team. They just put 6 guys in the first round, off that team last year. And if you got all of these new guys, freshman quarterback that's making his first start, and you still get blown out, what does that say about you as a coach?
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. This audition
Well, JD, man, I appreciate the phone
Yeah.
call, man.
All right,
Absolutely.
man. Y'all boys keep up the good work, man. I'm proud of the show, man.
All right, man. Thank you for
Appreciate you.
calling in, man.
Appreciate you.
And keep
All right,
on calling in, bro. Thank you.
Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Keep doing your thing, man.
All right, man. You drive safe. Good call, man. JD, man. Appreciate the phone call.
It's UTALK, baby.
Enjoyed it.
Let's
Enjoyed
get in
it.
this chat a little bit, man, and holler at some people. Oh, Linda English, my mother, man. Donation $20. My mother in the chat, man. Thank you, mother. I appreciate that. Shout out to Alan Johnson, man. What he do? He say one of my keys is defensive tackles got to have the best game ever to free up the young linebackers. That's totally true. Totally true, man.
Hey, and
AJ.
let me shout out. That's my boy right there, Alan Johnson.
Oh,
That's my partner.
Oh, shout out to Alan Johnson, man. What's going on,
Shouts
big
out to
dog?
Alan, man. Me and Alan be texting, man. Like, listen, I'm gonna tell a quick story. Alan works early. You know how I get up? I go to work early in the morning. Well, Alan works early in the morning as well. Alan's out there in Florida. So Alan had me laughing earlier this week. Alan saw me on Facebook, and Alan hit me up, and Alan he answered or text me or whatever. And Alan was later on in the day. He's like, man, I'm sorry. I didn't know you. I thought you were sleeping. Like, nah, dude, I'm just like you, man. I'm one of them early birds, too. So Alan's going to actually be with me at the tailgate, kicking it with me in the tailgate. I'm actually going to be sitting with Alan and his family and his crew at the game. So shouts out, Alan, man. Appreciate you coming through, bro.
That's what's up. Hey, shout out to my girl, man, Keisha Hibbert, man. She said, what happened to E. Gray? UTALK Family Cane Nation, E. Gray is no longer a part of UTALK. I want to thank him for everything that he did for the show when he was on here, man. He was great. He's moved on to bigger and better things, man. Y'all can check him out over at hashtag Just Saying, support his movement, and shout out to E. Gray, but he's no longer a part of UTALK. What else we got? Yeah, man, shout out to Alan Johnson, man. Hey, shout out to Benny Barrett. Oh, man, thank you, Alan Johnson. He said he loved the show, man. Thank you, brother. We appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, Alan. Appreciate you.
Okay, man, so we're going to continue on the depth chart. Like I said, you guys feel free to call up the telephone number. I'm going to put it up, 404-462-0477. Feel free to call up anytime. Jump in, man, if you got something to say. Larry Frank, man, you say you was over on the Facebook, man, didn't you? And you said that you had some pretty interesting conversations in the Facebook groups, didn't you?
Yeah. I want to shout out the group that I'm in, Cane Talk No Filter. What's happening? I'm an admin in that group, and that group originated after year one of the Manny era when we were all kind of upset at what he was doing, and we were very vocal, extremely vocal about what he couldn't get done. But we got a couple of guys in that group. It ain't no hate. I'm friends with them. I'm cool with them. They're my people. But they're very, very, very opinionated. And, man, I've been going ham with them for the last couple of days off and on. So this morning I'm at work, and one of the threads we was on, the conversation was continued. And I'd like to give them an opportunity. I told them, I said, look, tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern, 404-462-0477. I'm sorry. I say, call in and put your opinion out. So I ain't going to put their opinion out because if they call, I want them to do it. So shout out to my boy, DJ Sam. Yes, sir. I know a lot of y'all probably know him. And shout out to AJ Joyner. My people. We have fun. I mean, we go at it, but man, it was animated and listen, the phone lines are open, guys. So if you're watching, feel free to call. We're here.
And what group is that? Shout out the group. What's the name of the group?
The group is called Cane Talk No Filter.
Okay.
Cane Talk No Filter. It's not really that big of a group because that group, like I said, it was myself, DJ Sam, Kelvin Hooks. It's a couple of other ones in there. Oh Lord, I don't want to miss his name. I know Clifford. I can't remember what. I mean, these are YouTube, Facebook people. So a lot of the guys here, if you're on Facebook and you're in the Cane groups, you've seen these guys. Okay. They're very opinionated. You know, they don't play. They don't play. Like when they tell you they don't like something, they go hard. So
that's what's
I'm gonna give them their respect. You know, they definitely speak their mind. So shout out to them for standing on their own. But I told them, I said, look, man, if you want to put your opinion out and let it be known, I mean, this is where we do it, man. Like, there is no right or wrong opinion. You know what I'm saying? It's we all feel how we feel, you know, whether it's positive or negative. So definitely, man, hey, call up. Call up. I love to hear from you. You know, hey, can't talk no filter. So yeah, that's the group, D.
That's what's up. Hurricane U CJ87. When will Levante Williams play? Hey man, I think he's gonna play against Alabama. He's probably not gonna start, but I think he's gonna see some reps like Larry Frank said.
Yeah, next Saturday. He'll play next Saturday. He basically all the fundamentals and drills and everything that they were doing the last couple of weeks, he missed that because he was briefly dismissed from the team. But now they're going into game prep. So now he's going to have to catch up. But he's that talented and that good that catching up won't be a problem. He's that good. I mean, the number one safety in his class, you know, so you can't let him sit on the bench, you know. So he'll see the field. He'll definitely see the field in certain situations. May not be a lot, but like I said, as the season goes on, you know, I think by mid-season you'll really be seeing him. He'll be, you know, wearing that chain at some point.
Oh yeah, before I forget, man, I want to let everybody know we're not going to be a part of the Miami takeover for that party next Friday on the 3rd. UTALK will not be a part of that party, so we just want to let you guys know that as well. But Larry Frank, go ahead with that depth chart, man. Let's continue to go on with the depth chart.
All right, so continuing on, we had Jared Williams as your left tackle.
Okay.
Like I said, he's been catching a lot of the starts in the scrimmages, and I think they're prepping him for that position. Moving on, you got oh Lord, hold up. Jalen Rivers. I'm sorry, I had a brain tease or whatever. Jalen Rivers at the left guard. Jalen Rivers is a nice size, got a nice size on him and all of that. He's real talented. He's young.
Right.
Jalen is going to come in, and I think this is where, and I like him coming in and starting this game right here, because if he has a decent game, his confidence is going to go through the roof, and it's going to make him play better as he progresses in his career. You got to remember, this offensive line, when healthy, I'm looking at least 3 definite draft picks, possibly 4 that are usual starters. So Jalen will be one of the ones to come back that we're going to have to lean on for experience moving forward. So he'll be at the left guard. Corey Gaynor, center. Very, very durable. I mean, listen, 2-year full-time starter, started all 24 games.
Yes.
So Gaynor will definitely be there at the center position. We'll be good with that. Right guard, the return, Navon Donaldson. Mm-hmm. I am so happy that he is back. Mm-hmm. And not only am I happy that he is back, just look at him. He has just evolved into a more just sizable, just dominant-looking version of what he was previously before the injury. Mm-hmm. I'm looking for him to really come in. And the thing about it with him and rounding it out with DJ Scaife at the right tackle position, watch the right side of the the lineup when we line up. Watch that right side. Because you got to remember, with Scaife played right guard last year next to Jared Williams.
Right.
But Scaife is a tackle by nature. Scaife thrives at the tackle position. Mm-hmm. So he was out of place,
and he played tackle a little bit last year as well.
He did.
You know,
he did.
They was moving guys around on that line. And that's my question.
Yeah.
I want to go back over to the left guard where you were talking about Jalen Rivers. Who do you think that they will have behind him on the depth chart if he was to start? Are we going to do Ja'Kai Clark? Like, who are we looking at behind Jalen?
I'm looking at Zalante Hillary.
Zalante?
Only because, you know, you got other guys that you got to look at where they played. Mm-hmm. He got a few snaps in last year. The bad part about it is that's what happens when you miss a Ja'Kai Clark. Because with Ja'Kai Clark being out, you kind of got young boy. I hate to say it, but boys have to grow into men. So I'm thinking you're going to have Zalante Hillary there. Now, hopefully Jalen can last most of the game. And hopefully, you know, if they got to rotate Hillary in, he can get in there and kind of give Jalen a breather, because I don't think he'll be able to, especially on that left side, I don't think he'll be able to hold his own that long. Mm-hmm. But I think that's what you have. We're still short. We're still thin on the depth chart at that because we got some freshmen. You got McLaughlin, but he won't be ready, you know. So, and you got injuries. John Campbell, he's hurt, you know, right now. So you're kind of thin. Obviously, Ja'Kai Clark is hurt, you know, and so I think that's who you'll have backing him up. Just to round out the backups, I got Lawrence Seymour, who would back up Gaynor, but I don't think, you know, you'll see him at all. I think Gaynor's solid enough. He'll hold his own the whole game. At the right tackle position, there's a guy that nobody's talking about, but I think he can pay dividends down the line, and that's the UNLV transfer. Justice
Olawanzu.
Yeah, I butcher names. Yeah. So I mean, I feel bad.
And I could be saying it wrong too. Names. But you say he's a grad transfer, right?
He's a transfer from UNLV. The thing about it with him is he doesn't have he's got 20 starts, so he's an experienced player.
Okay.
But he, you know, look at the conference he played in. So he's probably going to have to earn his respect here because people are gonna be like, well, look where you came from. You didn't really see nobody. But that's okay. That's what you got Garin Justice for. Garin Justice is there to develop these guys and coach these guys up. And what a lot of people got to remember, the offensive line, even though it improved last year, it was still not great.
Right.
But that was Garin Justice's first year. So if you look at what they did in 2019, they were a train wreck. They gave up like 8 sacks in Florida, where they let Jaron Williams get sacked 8 times. They improved from that under his tutelage in year 1 in a COVID-shortened season.
Right.
So that's why I'm feeling good with him having this whole group going into year 2. And that's another thing. He was kind of plugging guys in and trying to figure out who was who.
Right.
So with all of that uncertainty, with all of that confusion, Garin Justice was able to come in. And even though they didn't play great, he did get them to play better than what they did the year before. So now coming in, he knows his guys. He knows where he wants to put certain guys. He can coach them the way he needs to coach them. I think you'll see some more stability.
Right. Okay. So let's jump over to the defensive side of the ball. And let's start on the defensive line. And let's start with the defensive ends. We lost Phillips and we lost Roche. So we already know one of the guys to transfer defensive end from Tennessee, DeAndre Johnson. What are you thinking about him?
I think DeAndre Johnson will continue what you've been seeing for the last couple of years on the defensive line. You get these transfer guys, they come in from other schools, and it's like it's a new life when they get to Miami, when they get on that line. You saw it with Gerald Willis. You saw it with Phillips. You know, you saw it with Roche. You know, it's just something about the last couple of years coming in as a transfer D lineman. You know, you hit pay dirt, you know, and it's just, I don't know if it's South Beach. I don't know what it is. What I do like is you're going to see that continuity with that transfer, and at the same time, you have Jess Simpson coaching now. Because last year, you know, you didn't have that, you know. So if you go back to Jess Simpson 2017 and what he did with Garvin and Jackson and Willis and how good that line was, this line here is going to thrive. So with DeAndre Johnson coming in as a seasoned vet on that D line at that end position, I don't know if he'll get the fanfare that those other guys like Phillips and them got last year and be able to parlay that into a first round draft pick like Phillips or you know, get selected in a higher round or whatever. But I do think that he will be able to play solid enough to really kind of keep us on par with solid D-line play, because you don't want no drop-off.
Right, and I mean, he's coming from a Power 5 school, so, you know, most definitely, man. I mean, Roche came from where last year? He was from, where did he come?
Was it Temple?
It was Temple. Yeah, it was Temple.
Temple.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So that's
the thing. He comes from Temple, and that's the thing. He didn't have Jess Simpson. And look what he did. So you get a guy coming from Tennessee, coming out the SEC. If you play in the SEC, if you were a starter in the SEC, you are talented. So you're getting a talented guy out the SEC coming here with Jess Simpson.
Okay.
And he knows his opportunity is there to get to the league.
Okay.
So I think he's going to pay dividends.
So let's jump to the other side. Who are we looking at? We're looking at
it's
Harvey?
It's going to be Zach McLeod. I mean,
what's your thoughts on that, man? Well, I mean, really, like, I get it. You know, they're bringing him from linebacker to defensive end.
Yeah.
But do you see that being a good move?
I think the jury is still out on that. It's looking like it can be an okay move, if that makes sense. And I say that to say this. If he flops, then it's a bad move. The only reason that I think it's an okay move is, once again, you got Jess Simpson coaching you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, his body, he's basically transformed himself into that DN body type. And listen, if he comes in with the fire that he did as a freshman, then it will become a good move. So I think in order for it to become a good move, all that is predicated on him and just his approach to the game, in addition to Jess Simpson's coaching ability. And I mean, hey, look, he's been with the program, 4 years now. So I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not a fan of it. I'm not excited overly about it. I'm like, okay, the coaches are raving about it. You're hearing a lot of positive stuff. So I'm just kind of going along with the masses on this one. So I think it's an okay move. It's got the potential to be good. That we're going to have to wait and see. I think against Alabama, I think the rest of the season, he'll come into his own at that position. It's just I think he may have some difficulty against Alabama.
Okay. And let's get to the depth behind him. What you looking at, Harvey and possibly Chance Williams?
Yeah, you got to go. Yeah, because Chance Williams is a talented young guy. One thing about the DN spots, they're going to rotate. They're going to rotate. So, Jafari Harvey's definitely going to get his opportunity. He made some noise last year. He was just with a real good group. I mean, you playing alongside really, in my opinion, 3 NFL draft picks, because you had 2 last year, and then you got Nesta, who's a future draft pick. So I think Harvey's gonna get in there, and he'll represent. He'll do his thing. And Chance Williams, I think he's a young gun. I think it's his time. I think he realizes that, okay, now is the time. I'm gonna make my snap. Everything I get in there, I'm gonna make it count, because the future is now. So moving forward, I think he's getting groomed, and I think that after DeAndre Johnson leaves, I think he's going to challenge for that starting spot in the future. So yeah, definitely those are your backups.
Okay, let's jump to D tackle.
Obviously Nesta. I mean, with Nesta, you got that's kind of a no-brainer.
Right.
Nesta. On the inside, I got Nesta, and I got I'm stuck between Ford and Harrison Hunt. But I think I'm gonna go ahead with Harrison Hunt here,
right,
slightly over John Ford.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then obviously Ford will get his reps as a backup, and Leonard Taylor, because Leonard Taylor is too hyped and too good to not see the field.
Yeah, you can't keep him off the field, most definitely.
You can't. He's your future. He's a future star right there.
Right.
So yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we got DN, we got D tackle. Let's go to linebacker. You know I've been waiting on this. What'd you say, Hurricane UCJ87? Nasty Nesta. Hey! I like Nasty Nesta too, Hurricane U.
Yeah.
I like Nasty Nesta too, man. Well, let's get to these. Hey, Hurricane U, we finna jump over here to these linebackers, but this is the position of concern for me, man, so I want to hear it. Go ahead, Larry Frank.
Yeah, well, here we go. Middle linebacker. Now, I don't feel as bad about this, but Corey Flagg did make some plays last year. I think Corey Flagg will, and like I said, let me put a disclaimer before I really get into this.
Okay.
None of these guys are going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just keep it at that. The goal here is to be solid and just do your job and be solid and be consistent, because you're going to need the secondary to help you in run support, and you're going to also need the front four to really establish pressure and make your job easier.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get that out the way. So with that being said, Corey Flagg in the middle. And on the weak side, I got Keontra Smith.
That's going to be my surprise right there. Keontra Smith. That transition from striker.
They've had a solid camp,
Yes. I think he's undersized, but I think that he's going to give us the versatility and speed we need definitely to cover tight ends. Definitely.
Right. Absolutely. At the striker position, you got to go with Frierson. Gilbert will be at the striker. And I think with Amari Carter, he'll get in there as well. Now, with them, I think you're going to see it'll be 50-50 with them. I don't think you'll have one guy getting the bulk of all the reps, at that position. I think they're just going to be interchangeable the whole time. So that's what I have. I was kind of hoping to see Austin Cave and Avery Huff.
Right.
But for some strange reason, I don't know what's holding them back. I don't know what's going on. I mean, Austin Cave looks the part. I saw a picture of him earlier this week. I mean, he's built. He looks the part. He looks the part of that prototypical Miami linebacker that we're used to. But for some strange reason, it's just not happening.
It ain't happening.
I mean,
right.
It's just not going down. So, I mean, I don't know.
Okay. So let me ask you this. Slot corner. Who do you see playing in the slot, in the inside, bro? Is it going to be – because I don't see Blaze over Ivy on the outside, so I think it's going to be probably him and Couch. But who you think get the nod?
I would think it's Couch, because Couch, as bad as that secondary was last year, well, as much as they got torched last year, Couch was probably the one bright spot. Because you saw in Couch, because he was young, and you saw him make plays, and you saw him show you the potential that he had. So I think Couch gets that slot corner spot. I think he gets it with ease. Blades has been getting reps at safety.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I was reading. He caught a couple of reps at safety, at the safety position. I don't know what that's all about, especially with the return of Avante. But they had been, but I mean, once again, I mean, T-Rob likes to, have these guys be able to be versatile and play basically, or at least be ready and prepped to play basically anywhere in the secondary. So hey, it might be just trial and error. Who knows?
Hey, not to cut you off. Let me read this text. Let me read the chat. Hurricane U CJ87. You looking at that?
I can't see it. What does it say?
It's like we should have transition. I ain't gonna say the name, but 8 and 6 to DBs to add depth. Well, one thing about it, Hurricane U CJ87, we know they wouldn't be getting beat deep because they do got speed, man. You know what I'm saying? And so definitely, I mean, I can see that look, Larry Frank.
He got a great point, man, because I'm telling you, I don't know how many times I can go back and look at film and look at game situations last year and how many times these boys beat the coverage and all you had to do was catch the ball.
Right. Right. That was a good one, man. I just started laughing when I seen that one there, man. But
they got that speed, man. They got that speed. Hey, cover skills. They get their hands on the ball. So he might be on to something.
It's UTALK, baby. It's UTALK, baby.
Right. Come on, man, with the rest of your the safeties, man. What you looking at free safety, Larry Frank? Talk to me.
Well, your safeties is pretty much is set. It's going to be Bolden. Bubba Bolden. He's got that spot locked up. I mean, it is what it is. Oh man, Gervin Hall. And I'm just not feeling Gervin Hall at that other safety spot. I'm just not. I'd rather see him go young with Cam Kinchins at least, because James Williams is going to eventually.
He's going to see the field eventually. Yeah, he's going to get some playing time this year too.
He will. But I'm hoping if you're going to go with Gervin Hall, I'm hoping he can really pay dividends coming in at that spot.
Right.
Because he's had some rough seasons, in the past, but he's also had a few good times and a few positive moments as well. But I think it's going to be Gervin and Bolden at your safety spot. So, and Stevenson will be that other corner. Obviously, I mean that's why he came. That's why he came to Miami. So he'll get that spot locked up. And like I said, they were trying Blades out at safety. The assumption was that the other spot would be Ivy and Blades in a battle. I think the nod still goes slightly to DJ Ivy in that regard. But as we've said before, Blades has all the talent in the world. I mean, listen, I was on YouTube the other day looking at some old school videos, and I was looking at his pops. And it's like you can see a lot of the mechanics in him that he has a lot of his dad's skill. I mean, in his uncles as well. It's just that I think now that's where the T-Rob effect comes into play. I think if T-Rob can do what I think he can do, I think Al Blades now has the opportunity to finally shine. Okay. So to start the season, I'll go with Ivy, but I think with good coaching, I think Blades will eventually surpass him, if that makes sense.
Okay, most definitely. Well, look here, y'all. We up against it, man. It's been a good show, man. Like I said, next week to everybody, we're not going to be doing the hype show next week. We're going to be over on Coach Hayes' platform, and we're going to be doing the Miami Hurricane YouTubers, man. We're going to get in there, man. I think he says from like 4 to 12. UTALK, man, our slot is at 6:30, and we're going to be talking about the O-line. So everybody, man, it's here. 1 week away, y'all. 1 week away. It's finally here. Miami, Alabama. What we all been waiting for. And I want to say thank you to everybody who chimed in tonight, man, and called in. And it was a good show, man. I appreciate you guys like always. Larry Frank, you want to give some departing words before we get out of here, brother?
Yeah, man, I just want to shout out, the UTALK family, the chat, man, the call, and just everybody for interacting and supporting, the movement. Shout out to all of the business owners, and all of the alumni players that, we've been talking to. And like I say, man, this show wouldn't be what it is. I mean, like I say, I started as a fan, so I know the love for this platform, by everybody coming week in and week out. So, man, thanks to all of y'all, man. Shouts out to all of y'all. So, yeah, man, getting ready for next week. Like I say, I got a hurdle I got to get over, with Ida. So hopefully, everything will be all right with that. But like I say, hopefully Monday, Tuesday, that thing is out of here, and then I can get my mind right and get ready for the ATL. So no doubt about it, man. Appreciate all y'all.
Most definitely, man. And shout out to all of our Kane supporters, Melvin Brad, man. Shout out to Marquez Williams, LaVar Scott, Dexter Sigler, Kenny Kelly, Eric Brown, what it do? And I'm going to keep on screaming it, man. Put that number 32 up in the Watsco Center, man. Retire Eric Brown's number, man. Miami Hurricane basketball, second all-time leading scorer, Mr. Miami basketball himself. Put that number up, retire it. But like I said, y'all, next week, Coach Hayes' platform, we're going to do the recap, man, the post game after the Miami Alabama game on Saturday, y'all. So we definitely going to do a post game. But on next Thursday, we're going to be over on Coach Hayes' platform, and that's at 6:30. So again, man, we appreciate all of you guys. Love everybody. Man, AJ, man, everybody in the chat, man. Let me shout out everybody, man. Hurricane U, CJ87, my mother. Shout out to Keisha Hibbert. Shout out to Jamal Davis, Benny Barrett. We want to thank all of you guys, man. Thank you for tuning in, man. Sigmund, what
I got one more. I'm sorry, Devin. I don't mean to cut you. I got one more. It just came to me problem. If I could real quick. Shout out to Canes United. Allen's in the chat. He's a member. Shout out to Canes United. I'm talking that group there. They travel the country to all the road games. I'll be DJing at Tailgate. So 135 Forsyth Street that Saturday. If you're looking for a place to come party and hang out and come speak and see me, Devin will be there for a little minute.
Yeah.
Hey, man, shouts out to Canes Unite. I just wanted to get that out the way. Go ahead, D.
No, you good, brother. And shout out to Cuban Kane. Shout out to Jeffrey O'Neal, April Clark Ramsford, man, the crew. Shout out to everybody, man. Brother Jay Blaze, man. Shout out to Josh Ayers, man. The usual corporates, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Like I say, y'all, we 1 week away. So we're going to do it how we always started, man. Y'all know how we start every show. And you know how we end every show. It ain't no us. Without you, baby. And we got the Miami Hurricanes versus Alabama. 1 week away, baby. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.
It's UTALK, baby.